Happy Tuesday! Thanks so much for joining me tonight for a craft night with friends. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginners. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together. Tonight we are continuing on the D-Dog embroidery. So we're stitching through the whole alphabet of animals. We are on the fourth one, letter D. We got all the outlines done last night, and we're going to start filling in all the little details. So let's get going. Oop, there we go. All right, everyone. I'm going to zoom you on right in here. And thanks, everyone, again for joining me. So, all right. Here's where we left off. We have the outline done. And now we can start filling in the blanks, and I'm kind of itching to do some of the satin stitch. So here's our pattern again here. I'm hoping let's do the nose first, and then I'd kind of like to do the collar here. I think that'd be kind of fun. So let's start there, and we get to start new colors for that as well. We got some red, and we got our brown. Yeah, I think this is a pretty dark. We could go like with a lighter color for the nose, but I think I like the dark one. Let's do that. All right, I'm going to start with the nose here. Hope everyone's having a lovely, lovely day. Ooh, and today is the official day that we released our little flower embroideries. So a few sneaky people got to get theirs yesterday, and now we've sent our emails out, and our main launch of them are today. So thank you guys again for everyone who ordered those. I have so much fun making those little flower embroideries. Definitely hoping to do more as the year goes along here. But yeah, so I actually have to make more of them, so I will be doing that tomorrow again. All right, I'm grabbing my 3 strands. We're using 3 strands for this again. Again, so for satin stitch, for like the prettiest satin stitch, you can use just 1 strand, and by prettiest I just mean like the most satiny, all the threads lining up just perfectly. That is best with 1 strand, but I'm doing 3, then we'll get done sooner. All right, here's our needle. So I'm going to weave in the end to some stitches that are already there, some of the back stitches we did yesterday, and then we'll get going on that nose there. So let's just go right through here, I think. 1. Ooh, I'm going to probably trim these a little bit. They're a little different lengths. Well, it got gloomy again outside here today, so that's kind of a bummer. And it's supposed to get cold over the next few days. But I think next week we might be in like spring 50s even, which would be awesome. But man, I'm getting sick of the cold, that's for sure. All right, so I'm going to start right in the middle. I think I'll do vertical lines for this, and I'm going to start right in the middle. Sometimes I like if there's a landmark. In my case here, I'm thinking the tip of the nose here. I kind of like making sure that looks just right. So I'm going to start right there. And I'm going to go just on the outside of these stitches. Oh, and my end swirled around itself here, making a little knot. There we go. And I'm going to go straight up, and I think we'll do some goalposts around here. Thanks for the hearts. My goalposts. I don't know why I call them that. Ooh, this is a little loose up here. But some just some markings on here just so we can kind of keep our vertical stitches parallel to each other. So I'm just going to add some marker. So sometimes I just like holding it up there, and then you could even stab directly through the line if you wanted, but I'm going to just scooch it out of the way just a hair. Okay, now that did not, that is not the same. I'm gonna undo that one. Hey, the Crafty Queen. Thanks for joining. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Diana. Oh, yeah, I could do the thread wax. Why don't we do some of that? Why not? Let's see. What smell is this one? Oh, this is the one that kind of smells like cookies. All right, so I'm just going to run my thread through here, kind of condition the thread, keep all the strands nice together. And it was kind of like knotting on itself, so hopefully this will help with that a little bit. Usually I like doing that before I start stitching with it, but we're good. Just run my fingers through that again. Ooh, cookies sound awesome though. There's a grocery store by us that their bakery has like the best cookies. Oh, I hope John's gonna get groceries tomorrow. I hope he gets some of those. Although we're trying to eat better. But these cookies are, like, these chocolate chip cookies are so good. And I just know there's like some chef or baker at that grocery store, and they're like, we want you to make the best cookie ever. And you know, he like or they just practiced and they worked on it until they had like the perfect cookie. And I feel like that's that's like what they did. We've gotten cookies at other places and stuff too, but just nothing is as good as their cookies. And now smelling this thread conditioner, I just want a cookie now. Dangerous. All right. Putting in my guideposts. There we are. So now I got some vertical lines all going in the same direction. So now it'll be easier. I'm going to start from the middle and go out. It'll be easier for me to kind of stay parallel here. So it looks like I did him not perfectly vertical. They're at a little fun angle, but maybe his head's at an angle a little bit, so I think it works. And again, I'm just going a hair on the outside of the line just to make sure that I cover up the line as I stitch. I'd like to do a design sometime that uses just a ton of satin stitch. I think that'd be kind of fun. Like different angles of the satin stitch can give like a different texture and stuff. I think that might be kind of an interesting thing we could play around with here. There we go. So I got to that second or that next guidepost, and everything just looks nice and straight still. And that's kind of, like I said, why I'm putting those guideposts in, just so I can make sure I stay, my stitches stay parallel to each other. Versus like veering off, and then by the time I get to the other side, they're all like crooked. All right, I think maybe one more on this side, and I'll jump back to the other side. Good. Okay, back to the center. I'm tempted to, like right before I got on here today, I was like, for the collar, maybe we could have the satin stitch go in different directions or something. So maybe I'll get a piece of paper out. I have a little bit of an idea for that. And it'd just be fun to play with a little bit of texture, maybe. almost to the next guide post, and I think I'm veering my line just a hair, so we'll correct it here. All right, a few more stitches. He's got such a big nose. Maybe one more, but maybe two. I think maybe one more after this. Nah, actually, I think that looks pretty good. There we go. A nice poofy nose there. I like the satin stitch. It just feels like so raised off of the surface. You just want to kind of touch them. Fun. All right, little nosy done. I'm going to weave in the ends. And then I think I kind of want to do the collar. Or actually, with the brown, it looks like the brown is used for his little, like, bone tag, too. So let's just do that right away, since I got the brown on my needle here. I think that's it for the brown then, too. So yeah, let's finish that up first. Did you have any beads? Oh, nearby for the bling collar. Oh, Linda, that would be cool. I don't have any beads nearby. That's gotta change. So my beads, I have a whole big bead collection, like seed beads from like a zillion years ago, like when I was in high school or something even, or junior high. I love doing bead stuff. So I have like little, oh, what are those called? What were those cool, like, 90s caboodles? That's what they were called, right? Those little, like, kind of tackle boxes, but like, cute. Caboodles. Is that what they are? That sounds sort of familiar. Let me know if that sounds like anything. But I have some of those with beads in, and I'm kind of itching to kind of, like, consolidate all that somehow. I don't quite know how I would do that. But, you know, because I've been making all those little bags, those zipper pouches that I've been holding, like, all my individual types of crafts in. And that's just been so nice just to grab, like, an entire craft. Like, here's all my tatting supplies. I've been liking that. Oh, they were called... Okay, Stephanie Loves Coffee said they were definitely called caboodles. Melissa says, yes, caboodles. Okay. Jeez, I probably haven't said that word in like a decade. So that's probably why it sounded so weird when I said it in my brain. But anyway, so I got some caboodles. I got a pink one and a purple one, and they're filled with like teeny tiny seed beads. Oh my gosh, Denise says you can buy them at Walmart. Oh my gosh. I love that all that 90s stuff is coming back. I think that's crazy. But yeah, so I have them a bunch in there, and then I do actually have some like kind of smaller tackle boxes. I remember going to Fleet Farm and getting them from Fleet Farm. I know they're for sure tackle boxes, and those are all filled with stuff too, but it's all just in disarray. And I know they're beads, which would be a nightmare to redo, but I think I can consolidate it quite a bit. And it'd be awesome. Ooh, fuzzle. It'd be awesome to consolidate all that beading stuff and have it in like one grabbable like pack that I know isn't gonna fall apart. Like right now, I'm like nervous to ever handle the caboodles or the tackle boxes, just because I'm just afraid that they're just gonna freaking pop open and then I'm gonna have beads everywhere. So I think maybe I need to get like some of those silicone rubber bands and stuff. I think we might actually have some of those somewhere, but maybe I'll get those to wrap around them. I don't know. It needs to have a look-see and an organization session like I did for some of my other crafts. But yeah, I should grab those. Though, I mean, I could actually leave his little chain collar here. It would be fun to kind of put beads there for those, wouldn't it? I do kind of like that idea. Like using beads instead of French knots on this. I may have to leave that and for tomorrow and go see what I got for seed beads. Then they would be up here too, and that would be an excuse to organize them. So, okay, I'm liking that. Liking that idea. All right. I know. Oh, and Stephanie says, and how did I not realize they are fancy tackle boxes? I remember getting them and then like, oh, I need more of these or whatever. But I don't know, for some reason I couldn't get more of those. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how I got those, but I remember getting the tackle boxes. I remember going specifically to Fleet Farm with my dad and getting, like, I even know what part of the store they were. I remember going there and getting, like, specifically these small tackle boxes. And then I was getting, like, fishing line, too, like, really strong fishing line, because I was going to make, like, I don't know, bead bracelets or something out of them, and I got, like, this, oh my gosh, I probably still have that in there. Some, like, you know, 1,000,000 pound, you know, this black fishing line that I was using for, like, bead bracelets or something. Oh my god. I'll have to pull all that stuff out. That is some old crafting supplies in there that would be awesome to start using again. I'd love to do some beading stuff again. All right, we got the brown done. His little itty bitty kind of bone collar there. But I do like the idea of like maybe getting some beads out. I think that'd be kind of fun. Play around with this a little bit more. All right, I want to try something on this collar that I haven't really tried before. I'm just grabbing a pencil. So here's my little test page here when we were doing the testing out the different ways to do the letter C. But I'm gonna just here's my collar. I'm kind of thinking I gotta see if this is gonna work. So like, what if we did them at like angles? Oh yeah, so this might work. So like little kind of triangles that keep changing direction. Yeah, that's cool. So this would add some texture to it. So I'll just draw like these triangles on and then like just trade off the direction that they would go. Okay, I'm gonna totally try that. I think that might just like make it look like they like, you know, they got a collar with like patterned fabric on it or something. Yeah, or like some woven collar. Okay, I like that. I'm gonna give it a try. So let's just I don't know, draw triangles on this, I guess. So let's just go up. Oops, I went a little over. Oh well. That'll kind of rub off. So I'm just gonna kind of do like wide angle triangles here. There, maybe like so. All right, and then I think let's do one direction up to the line and then go the next direction, because that will cover up the ends of the stitches and make like another like raw edge of them, and then we can cover them up. Okay, I got a plan. Let's do it. Let's do this in red. See, now this would be fun to like play around with satin stitch like this, but like in a bigger pattern than just the collar here. Just like all different angles of satin stitch just to get different effects. I think that'd be a really kind of a fun project. Oh my gosh. Wait until you see these caboodles too. I mean, it's just the graphics on them. It's just like a triangle and a circle or something. It's like just so super duper 90s. It's just like classic 90s tween design, I suppose. Did they even use that? Was that even a word yet in the 90s? Tweens? All right. Grab my needle here. Ooh, I got a little kind of weird fuzzle on here. I think that will... Oh, there, came off. Good. All right, I'm gonna start over here and I'm gonna weave in the ends of the, or not the ends, I'm gonna weave my ends of this red floss into the backs of these gold stitches. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, we got all his little fur on the back of his back, on the back of his back to do yet. But I don't know, I was feeling satin stitch today, and when you feel satin stitch, you better just go with it, because I don't always feel like satin stitching. There we are. Okay. So I'm going to just kind of start at the bottom, and I'm going to just like angle right up to that line that I drew. And then this is such a small space that I don't think I need like other guideposts. So I'm just gonna just like start in the middle and then go up one way. And having this line is helpful because I could just like know that I have to stay perpendicular to that. Oh, I hope this works, because this will just be like an itty bitty tiny little detail that will just be kind of fun. So I'm hoping it works. I don't see why it wouldn't. It's kind of fun to draw out the satin stitch before we do it, like on that paper. It's just a quick way to test it, I suppose. These are getting real little up here. One more baby one. Boop. All right. Oh, Marsha, you're right. Beads might be a problem for a baby quilt. That's a good point. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't do the beads. So I think that's a good point. I'll stick with just the French knots, but I'll bring the beads up anyway. Maybe we can play around with them on a separate piece. But that's a good point. I don't know how this is going to be used when it's done, because we're going to be auctioning off the quilt, and everything else about it is going to be, you know, baby safe. So maybe I should, yeah, not put beads on. Couple more down here, and then we'll be going that other direction to start to create our little texture here. I don't really know if I need this last stitch, but we're doing it. All right, now let's go the other direction. So I'm going to just go all the way to the top here and just kind of use this line, connect it down there. So this will kind of cover up the edges of all the stitches we just did, which I think is nice. Now here I am going to put some guideposts in here. For some reason, I'm not trusting myself to do parallel lines here. Yeah, okay. Now we'll fill it in. So yeah, that big stitch covered up the ends of all the stitches in the last one, and then our next one is going to cover up all the little ends that we're making here. So we'll just have like a trade-off of covering up the ends. Fun way to get a little fancier, fill in a little simple area. A little goofy now, but I'm trusting the process. I think our drawing made it look effective. Yeah, Marcia said it would be so fun to do some beading on something else, though. I agree, and it's just fun. Like, you know, maybe one of these flowers, because for some reason I'm tempted, like these tulips, where are they? These tulips, I just want to do so many things with them. Like, I'd love to do a punch needle of this, would be just really fun. Like, we could make like a punch needle patch out of it or something. I would need to find some different fabric for that. But just like beading it all, like if this was just filled in with beads, that would be so cool. Yeah, I don't know. some reason I want to do so many things with the little tulips, but that was the first thing I thought of too with the beads. Like, oh, that could be all beaded and be kind of interesting. All right, jumping down to the other angle again. Okay, so I'm going to cross over and get all of those parts, those ends. Yeah, this is going to almost look like it's twisted or braided, I think. All right, I am going to put a few extra little guideposts in here again. Yeah, about right there looks good. Okay, now let's fill in those blanks. Or, man, actually on the flowers, it would be cool to like fill in the flowers with stitches and then like just put a few little like clear seed beads on, like it's just like a droplets, like it rained the night before, or like dew on the flowers in the morning or something. Ooh, like what if like even this like finished with a bunch of little clear beads like just over here and on the leaves, it would look just like it was like morning dew on the flowers. And this is like filled in enough that we could just add a couple. Like that would be so neat, I think. Man, maybe this last full week of the month is like kind of our free day. Maybe we just play around with that tulip. Maybe I transfer it to some other fabric and we do a little punch needle. I don't think that'll take the whole week. And then we could do like another little embroidery or with the, or maybe we do a punch needle and we add beads to that. Or that's probably kind of weird. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's do like some crazy, tons of different crafts together project. Make some funny patch or something. Could be interesting. I like doing all those experiments. I haven't tried tatting with beads yet either, and I'd like to do that at some point. I do want to make more of these snowflakes. And I'm working on that knit snake too. I've put that in a basket right next to the couch so that if I'm watching TV or something, I can stitch a few rows of that. So we're gaining a pile of little projects here, but I'm having a lot of fun doing these little projects, so I'm going to continue. But I'm still feeling strong about getting all these quilts done that we have going, all these unfinished quilts. We're probably going to visit my parents soon again, so I'll be bringing the granny square quilt. I'll be bringing that there, and I can do all that like straight line stitching to prep it for when I'm back here, and then we can do like a marathon stitch or like quilt along or something, so we can do all those decorative borders that we were intending to do on that one. So this is definitely making this satin stitch take a whole lot longer, but it's so fun. All these little crisscrosses. I think it's subtle, but I think it's kind of working. Oh, Anne's on Snowflake 28 now. Nice. I still haven't made it past, I still haven't done the first one. I did the sample one, and how did I get this little knot? I did the sample one, and then I skipped to number 2 because I still haven't figured out, I haven't looked up how to do a mock picot to jump to the next row. I actually haven't worked on a tatting project that has more than the one row. So I need to look up how to do a mock key ring. What the heck? I don't know why I said that. A mock picot to jump up to the next row. And then there was something else. Oh, a lock join. I needed to learn how to do a lock join as well. And I'm sure, to learn both of those would take all of like 6 minutes probably, but I just haven't sit down to do that yet. Oh, I'm getting a little angled funny. But yeah, that's still like that I see as like a long-term project, but I do want to like do one every so often. It's a long-term project that's really just like full of little projects, so it's like a quick win series, I feel like. Oh, Noeline, I hope your puppy feels better. I can still smell the thread conditioner, though. I think from... Oh, I just used it on here. I can still... Oops, sorry. I can smell it on there yet. So it really is like making scented embroideries. I do love that. I still do want to put some of those together. This is turning out great. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but there is a little bit of that texture, a little bit of like a crisscross going on there. I think that's turning out just, again, like I said, super subtle, but it's there. And when it hits the light, you'll see the angles, because the light hits the different angles of stitches differently. So very, very subtle, but I could see this working great for like if you were stitching like a, like a basket of flowers or something. Like that could be the basket handle. What else? Like, oh, just like a plain like circle wreath. If you just did like a circle that's this thickness as just like a simple wreath. That's, yeah, like literally just a circle, and did this to add texture to that. That would be kind of cool. Just thinking of different ways this might work. Definitely taken a long time doing this. I said that already, but I'm still hoping to get a whole pile of the rest of the details done yet. I think I'll do the hairs next, and then we'll get to the eyes and that second collar soon here. But like I said, if you feel like sand stitching, it's time to sand stitch. At least for me, it's not always my favorite thing to do. I always like how it turns out, but sometimes, like with embroidery, that's why I like doing the outline first, because I feel like I get a ton done, and that feels like a super quick win. And sometimes the sand stitch doesn't always feel like a quick win, because it takes a while and it fills in just like the tiny space, but it always looks kind of nice. I like it. All right, here's our last little crossover deal. I think we're going to have just enough thread for all this. I think this is kind of fun, though. A little mini experiment for the day. I love those little wins. Oh, is this hard to do? Hand embroidery is definitely a very nice beginner craft. It can be as simple or as difficult as you want it to be. I mean, there is some very kind of difficult embroidery things, but what I'm doing here is very simple. I do have like tons of videos on how to do it, and I'm here every night doing it to ask questions. We do have a free pattern that has a like free series of videos that go with it, if you're interested in that over in the profile. But it's easy. I like saying, like, if you can color, you can embroider. We're just following lines basically with stitches. All right, there we go. That is a cool texture, subtle, but it's there for sure. I wonder if I can take a good photo of it sometime so you can really kind of see. But it's there, that little texture. That was fun. I can definitely see doing something like that again. All right, I like it. Let's weave it in, and then we'll do his little back hairs. Oops, shoot. Looked away for a sec and unthreaded my needle here. Let's just trim the little ends. One, two, and three. I'll save this little piece. We might need it at some point. Alright, I do like how that turned out. I'm going to try and, there's one little area that is looking less satiny, like some of the stitches were pulled more than the others. I'm just going to try and get my needle in there and make them feel all the same. Yeah, pretty. I think that turned out really fun. Cool! New thing for me. Haven't done that before. All right, let's find some yellow. It looks like I have some here already. Ooh, and I actually have a little piece. I wonder if this will be enough. Oh, plenty. Okay, yeah. Love when I can use a scrap. This might not actually get us the whole way, but I think it'll be close. Playing some thread chicken with this. Oh, thanks, Flightless Bird. All right, let's weave in that end. We'll just do all these little, so these are technically like seed stitches. So those are just like one little stitch. So like, or like like seed stitches or a straight stitch. It's just, oops, it's literally just come up at the beginning of the line with the needle and go down with the needle at the end of the line. That's literally it. Traditionally, seed stitches, like all these little short lines, they're sometimes used under satin stitches. So like these satin stitches that we just did, if we did a bunch of little seed stitches underneath first, it would be adding like bulk. And then when we stitched our satin stitch on top, our satin stitch would be even poofier, even more raised. So that's kind of a fun, it'd be kind of a fun thing to try sometime. We did do a little demo of that, I remember, where we just played around with satin stitch. So we did satin stitch with like the 3 strands, then we did it like with 1 strand of floss, and then we did it with like the seed stitches underneath to make it more raised. And it was just kind of fun looking at those different things. Oh, Amy, that's a good point. So Amy says you can use the Nishikito if you want the bling. So that was a totally random line if you don't know what I'm talking about. But Nishikito thread is it's a type of it's a brand of metallic embroidery floss, and it's my favorite. It doesn't have like that oftentimes for metallic thread, first of all, they're very difficult to work with, but it oftentimes has like a nylon or you know, some sort of nylon core, and then it's got like the metal filament that's wrapped around it, and it's just hard to use. This Nishiki Ito stuff just seems like it's just almost like the metal almost. So I don't know how it's done, but I love it. It's so shiny. Oh, so what Amy's suggesting is that we could do it for the bling, which is like his little collar here. I'm just thinking in my head, is that going to be a nightmare to do French knots with the Nishikito thread? But we did that. We made a bunch of French knots with that thread when we did that like little Christmas ornament, or that like winter snowflakey thing where we did the snowflakes and some stars and stuff. I think we used the Nishikito thread for that, and we had French knots, and I think that worked well. Maybe I'll do that because that'll be kind of fun. Then it's not the seed beads, so it's, you know, we don't like risk like little kids getting the seed beads, so the metallic thread would work better for that. That's a good idea. I like that. I will have to get that too. Bring both of those up. seed beads just to look at for fun, and then so it's up here in case I want to organize it, or we can work on a little bead project, and then that Nishiki Ito thread for his collar. I like that idea. A little bit of sparkle. But compared to other metallic thread, that's just so shiny and stuff too. I have no rhyme or reason for the order that I'm doing these in. Sometimes I try and like make a path so I can, you know, just like use the least amount of thread. But I'm just kind of going from left to right here, just kind of jumping around. It's a good way as any. Actually, now I think maybe I'll stick to the bottom row and go horizontal back and forth on the way back up. Again, for no real reason. Row of 3 here. Let's get those. Then we'll end up near the back again, so that'll be good because those will, we can tuck in our threads there. He's coming together though. This guy's going pretty quickly. So I think I'll try and do the eyes yet tonight, and then yeah, I think I'll get some of that metallic thread, and we'll use that for his little collar here. And so we'll do the collar tomorrow and get going on the satin stitching of the letter D's, the 2 D's there. What did we do? Oh, it was red, so those are in red. Oh, that's great, because if these are red, it's going to call out the collar even more, because your eyes will jump between the reds. So that'll even be more of like a hint to be like, look at all the texture we did in the collar there. I think that'll be fun. Rockin' Robin is asking, where could we find that thread? I would... the only place I've really seen it is if you go onto Etsy and do a search for Nishiki Ito. So I'm going to spell it for you. It's, and I think this is what it is. So it's it's just how it sounds. So Nishi, then it's Ki, and then another Ito, I think. So like Nishiki Ito. All one word. And then a range of colors should pop up. I've been trying to get it for the shop, but they're not the only way I can get them is if I get like a pile of other things too. So it's been a little weird trying to get some of it. But maybe I should look into that again though. I do like having that metallic floss around. It is just nice to play with sometimes. And that's just the kind that I got. Maybe it's a sub-brand of that. That's that really shiny stuff. I don't know. But it's fun. Maybe I'll do a little search for it for some on Etsy or something. And maybe I'll post it in the crafters group on Facebook, the Penguin and Fish Crafters group, just so to show the stuff that I have, because I think there might be like a really big range, and I don't know. I'm assuming the rest of the range is like really fun and metallic too, but just for like the super duper metallic stuff, I'll point that out. So I'll do a little post of that. I'm gonna write some of this stuff down. Hold on, I'm gonna make some notes. So. Facebook post, Nishiki Ito. Oops, I forgot the I. Nishi. So this is how you spell it too. Nishi. Oh God, if you can even read that. Nishi Kito. I believe that's what it is. So Facebook post Nishikito. Oh, beads. Caboodles. And oh well, the Nishikito. That'll be a good enough reminder for that. Once it's more than one thing, I better start writing it down. Getting those, I was saying to Jenna this morning, I was like, gotta get them flies out of my hair or something. Get them down on paper there. Okay, I'm gonna just trim this little guy's bothering me. This little excess bit. There we go. Wow, must be getting late. I'm getting real picky again. Okay, so let's do the eyes there. So I want to do black for the eyes, I think. And do we have a little bit? Oh, we have a teeny bit of black. This would probably be good for one eye. I might as well use it. I'm trying to use like I'm trying to see how far one set of floss goes. So this is looking like a crazy mess, but it's because I've used a bunch for the A through C. But this started with like 23 of my little pocket skeins of thread, and I'm trying to kind of just use from here and see how it goes. So this is a little piece that I saved from, I don't know, the cat or one of the other letters. And I might as well use it now, otherwise I might as well throw it away. I'm not gonna have anything smaller than these little eyes to stitch. So let's see if I can get one eye out of this. Then I'm going to need to cut some more for sure. All right, just woven those ends, and I am going to make a little hexagon shape for the eye. It's my typical Y or I. Christine Chicken is asking, is that floss hard to handle, or is it like regular thread? It is not like regular thread. It is hard to handle, but it is not nearly as difficult as in my opinion, like some of that DMC metallic or other just like metallic thread that you can get. I find that it's easier to use because it doesn't unravel around that center core nylon. But if you're comparing it to just cotton embroidery thread, it's definitely not as easy as that. But I have not had nearly the trouble with this Nishikito thread that feels like all metal compared to some of this other metallic thread that goes around like a little bit of a core. My favorite for sure. Yeah, DMC has that étoile fabric. That means star in French. I think. That's me remembering from high school. But anyway, I think that might still be a little difficult to use, but I feel like I've used that, but I'm not positive. It's been a while. All right, we got the one eye. Definitely don't think I'll get the other one out of here. So I'm just going to weave this in, and then we're going to call this thread done. And I'm going to get a whole new piece of black. And I'll probably get a full giant piece of black because I know I'll use it for, another letter. So it's not like I'll be throwing any of it away or anything. Yeah, Therese, I really like the Nishikito. It's like I said, it's not as readily available as the DMC stuff, but I do really like it. It has like a really good like golds and silvers and that really actually shine and stuff. I like it a lot. It is by Cosmo. So Cosmo is another brand. Like DMC is a brand. Cosmo embroidery floss. So I think it's like a sub brand of Cosmo thread. But I think Cosmo also has its own metallic, so the Nishiki Ito is the key part to that. But like I said, I'll post it, a link to, like, I'll look on Etsy, see if there's something there. I'll just do a Google like shopping search for Nishiki Ito thread. But I'll be able to recognize it, is what I'm saying. I'll recognize the kind that I have, so I can link to that. All right, let's grab our 3 strands. We'll get that little eye. And I'm going to start and stop that eye. I'm just going to weave it into itself there, so I'm not like jumping from any point, so you can see that jump. So I'm going to be like finicky with this, but I think it's nice. All right, 3 strands, ready to go. All right, let's get a nicer edge. Ooh, there's a little part of this one that's being funny. We're going to just start fresh. It's usually the easiest way to go. There we are. All right, so I am going to start with like a little away knot here. And we'll go a little bit away from the eye. This is just to reserve that extra piece of thread. Kind of did the knot far away, but the ends were being kind of funny. All right, so now let's do our little hexagon again. You could get away with a diamond too, like just like four little angled stitches for this eye, but I think just doing a hexagon, even though they're teeny tiny stitches, just gives a slightly more of a circular look. There, now he's kind of winking. It's cute. So we'll weave in these stitches to the back. I think once you get the eyes stitched in, these guys always start to take shape. Oh, thanks, Kimberly. Yeah, I think the metallic is going to look pretty for this part of the collar too. But yeah, I like how that texture turned out really kind of fun. All right, let's flip them over, weave in this end, and then I'll trim that away knot and we'll weave that in as well into this tiny little area. But it's a nice effect to not jump from like weaving in the ends there. And then I still like not having knots. I don't like all that extra like fuzz flying around the end of the knot. All right, let's just snip this off from the back. Ooh, this is a little bit, but we only need a little bit. Okay, 1, 2, and I think that's actually going to be enough. That's actually pretty tight in there. I'm going to just let that be. All right, and let's just remove that away knot from the front. And there we go. He's looking nice and dapper, I think. Ooh, a whipped back stitch would work really nice to round it out. Ooh, a whipped back stitch on like his whole body. That would be kind of fun. Oh, or on like if you did a diamond for the eye and then did a whipped back stitch around that. Is that kind of what you're saying, JW? Either of those would be kind of fun. We haven't done a whipped back stitch in a while, have we? That'd be fun. All right, you guys, I think that is probably good for this evening. Done a little bit early. Theoretically, we could have finished his little collar today, so we would have gotten all of the details done. So I feel good. I feel good about my mental like timing on how long things are going to take. But we wanted to use that metallic thread, so I will get that so we have it for tomorrow, and then we can take a look at it a little bit more. And then yeah, we'll start the letter D's, and I think we'll do that with the red still, because I do like the idea of your eye like popping back and forth between the collar and the letters here. I think that's cool. So all right, you guys, that is that for this evening. So thanks again for joining me, and I'll be back working on this little guy a little bit more tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Yeah, so metallic thread, we'll get going on that, and then, yeah, satin stitch. I think that'll be fun. So awesome. Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.